Hello YouTube, we're going to be making coconut muffins today, my style. Okay, here's a list of the ingredients that we're going to be using, starting with honey, liquid stevia, coconut oil, baking powder, vanilla extract, Himalayan sea salt, the coconut flour, and a mixture of nuts. Doesn't really matter. Organic eggs, and strawberries and blueberries. So let's get started. Okay, let's start with the coconut flour. We're going to be putting a heavy half a cup, so I'm going to start with, this is a 1/4 cup scooper. 1, 2, I'll put this here for us. Baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. We're going to use a heavy half. About like yay. Alright. Half a teaspoon of the Himalayan salt. We'll start with the wet ingredients. And we're going to go finally with 8 eggs. You need the eggs when you're using coconut flour because they won't rise without them. Right there. I'm going to be putting the nuts. Now we got the dry ready. The wet is almost ready. All we have to do is add coconut oil to that. But before I do this, see the coconut oil's in here? It's all coagulated. I'm just going to put this in the microwave for like 30 seconds just to make it liquid. I'm going to put a little bit of pumpkin seeds. Pecans. About like that. About more or less. And a couple of mixed nuts. Yeah, I'm a fan of Costco. That'll do it. And you pulse this. Depending on how you like the nuts in the muffins, you can either make them fine or thick, depending on the consistency that you like. Okay, and I'll take this out. I'm going to mix this with my dry ingredients. Let me give this a quick stir. Alright, now we're going to take you over to the KitchenAid. Okay, here we are. We're going to be mixing the eggs right now, so I'm going to turn this on. Now, as it's mixing, here's our coconut oil. You got about 4 ounces, so it's about a half cup. We're going to pour this as it's mixing. If you just decided to throw it in without doing it, it would all coagulate. Then the next we're going to put a little stevia. So we got 1 dropper and a half. Then as it's spinning, we're going to be adding our dry mix to this a little at a time, like that. Okay, let's go take it over to the table and we'll fold in. Here we go. We're going to put in the blueberries. Got about a half a cup right now. And strawberries. And what you're going to want to do is just fold this in. Here we go. Oh, one last thing, one last ingredient I forgot to mention. I usually like to sprinkle some shredded coconut right on the top of it, and as it bakes, it looks really cool. Once it reaches 350, you keep it in there for 40 minutes, 38 minutes I would check it, and we'll check it in, see you in 40 minutes. Well, welcome, here we go. Time has elapsed. Let's see what we got. And what we're going to do is just let it cool off before we cut it into squares. What it is, it makes it sweet, but the honey in it masks the taste of the stevia if you're not used to it. And it tastes really good. Okay. I'll show you after it's cut, after it's cooled off. Okay, so here we are. It's all cooled off and we're ready to cut it up. And we're just going to cut down the middle. See how they look. Oh yeah. Nice. And basically, really, when you start eating these, there's a lot of fiber in them. So what you might want to start with is maybe like a half piece. See how your stomach reacts if you're not used to the fiber in it, because it could upset your stomach if you have too much at one time. But it's very great. It's very good for people who are on diets. There's hardly any there is no sugar in it. There's just honey as a sweetener.